Hi everyone, it's Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to another card making video. So today we're going to be using the Sophisticated Snowflakes die from the Die Cut and Essentials issue 71, I believe it was. And we're just going to make a really quick and simple card using this sort of edge die here. So I've taken a pre-made card base. This is a scalloped edge card, but I don't tend to use them. So if ever I just need a card base, then I do tend to just chop the sort of edge off it and just turn it into a regular card. But we're going to make a little bit of a different sized card today. So this is 3.5 inch by 6.5 inch. So I've done a card in this specific size to be able to fit this die that we're going to be using. We're going to be die cutting two pieces. We're going to have this on the edge, and then it's just going to be able to show us that really beautiful snowflake detail that it's got. So I've cut a piece of paper, again the exact same size. This is 3.5 inch by 6.5 inch. I'm just going to put this sort of somewhat near the top of the cardstock, and what I want to do here is create sort of a banner to go across the top and the bottom of the card. So I'm just going to, you've seen I used some washi tape just to hold that down, and then I'm just going to run it through my Gemini die cutting machine, and this then just cuts this die really beautifully. So like I said, I do need to have two of these, so I do end up die cutting this twice, and like I said, this will give us a top and a sort of bottom border for this card. So you can see just how well that has die cut there. You do have a quite faint line where the sort of edge of the die is. You don't notice it here on camera, but it is more noticeable in person. But you could always just run that back through your die cutting machine and try and just flatten that back out again, but it didn't really bother me. So you can see I'm just bringing it back in my original card, and you can see how this is going to come together. So the designs are going to be kind of facing into the centre of the card. So I decided to go a little bit more traditional with today's colours, so I'm just using some red. So I picked out two from the Prism Watercolour ink pad range. So this is Fire Brick and Chili Red. But after I started using them, it didn't, originally what I wanted to do was have it a darker colour at the bottom and then gradient and get lighter at the top, but I didn't feel that these two colours were different enough to sort of get that effect, and I didn't think that it was really laying down the colour sort of as vivid as what I wanted it to. I wanted it to be a really dark, Christmassy kind of red. So I did decide to swap it out for one of the Distress ink colours. This is Fire Brick. And when we put this on top of the Prism colours, you can just see the difference. You can see how much more red it is. It's a lot more richer. That was kind of what I was going for. And if I did then have a lighter red, I would have liked to have done that gradient, but I ended up just keeping it all sort of the same. But you can see that I'm not going right to the top or right to the bottom, because then we've got our die cuts that's going to be going along the top. As long as I reach that, then that's all that matters. And you can see here, I shared this with you in the last video where I was taping the foam pads onto the back of the ink pads. It just makes things a little bit easier, and then I can have a foam pad for each of my colours. So the next thing I'm going to do is use some of the Cosmic Shimmer mica powder, and this is just going to create some splatters onto this red section, just to make it a little bit more Christmassy, make it look like some snowflakes. Originally what I was going to do was to take a snowflake stamp, and I was going to spritz it with water, and it kind of lifts that pattern up, so it's kind of stamping with water. To be honest, I just automatically went to grab this mica powder and completely forgot that that's what I was going to do, so maybe we'll do that again in another video. But you can see I'm heavily splatting this section here, and you can see it, and then when it catches the light, it's just going to give it that really beautiful kind of shimmer. So I'm just going to use my heat gun just to help sort of dry that process, and then we can go ahead and start sort of popping our card together. So you can see just how easy this is coming together. It's nothing complicated. If you're looking for a quick and easy card using this die cut, literally all I've done is die cut it from white, done a bit of ink blending on the card base itself. Now I'm just going to take a tape pen. So this is the Crafter's Companion Dotted Tape Pen. I've used this because it's perfect for going over really intricate dies and helping it sort of stick. It's a really strong adhesive. So the sticky dots will only obviously stick to the bits of cardstock that you are putting it over. It won't stick in between the gaps. If you do get any just in between the gaps, I find it really, really easy just to kind of rub my finger over it. You will see me do it a little bit later, and it just gets rid of any extra kind of residue. So that is pretty much the base of the card completely finished. So the next thing we're going to do is put a sentiment on here. So I've taken the sentiment set from Creative Stamping. This is issue 88 because I just really love the sentiments that they've got in here. I think they're really great. I love the font. I love the mix of fonts together. So we're going to pick one of these. So it took me a little while to decide which one I wanted to use, but I decided to go with the Scent with Love. This doesn't have to be an obvious Christmas card. It could just be a winter card. It could be a Thinking of You card. You know, there's loads of sort of different options this time of year to not just make Christmas cards. If you've got birthdays, things like that, it's really great being able to use all of these sets. And the sentiments aren't always sort of Christmas related. They can be a little bit more generic. So what I wanted to do is not just stamp this in black like I normally would. So I wanted to stamp it in that same red colour. I thought that would make it a little bit more interesting, but I found that it didn't stamp very well. I don't seem to get much luck with being able to stamp sentiments with my ink pads. So I did try the Distress ink. Like I said, it didn't quite work. So then I moved on to a Distress oxide thinking that might work, but to be honest, it didn't really. I did try to go over it again just with a red pen. That didn't quite work, so I just kind of left it as it was. But yeah, I don't seem to get much luck when it comes to stamping my sentiments with a coloured ink pad. So the last thing we're going to do for this card is I've cut out 3 of the snowflakes, again just from some white cardstock, and I'm just going to then decorate these. So I'm not going to add any adhesive or anything. I'm just going to use again this dotty tape pen because it's perfect, and you can see that I'm just rubbing my finger over the top of it. That's just going to help get rid of any sort of extra sticky bits that I don't want. And then any of the sections that is hanging over the side of the card, I'm literally just going to cut those off. And really, that is the card finished. So I wanted to create something really simple, really quick that, you know, if you had a last minute make you wanted, that you needed to do, you know, you could do a perfect design like this, and it really doesn't sort of take too much to do. Of course, you can make it a little bit more interesting, add, you know, different colours to your ink blending. You could do so much with this, but as a really basic design, I do really love it. So that's it for this video. If you like this card, then please give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so you don't miss out on any future videos. So in terms of getting my channel monetized, helping to support this channel and help it grow, I have actually reached my required watch hours, but I'm not quite there yet with my subscriber count. So if you are watching this video and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps. It's going to help me to be able to monetize this channel, like I said, support, bring you new products, new videos, and it'll just really help me sort of carry on doing what I want to do. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. So thanks very much for watching, and happy crafting.